very hearty welcome to another edition of the program Familiarise With The Law, coming to you from Star Television. We broadcast live from our Media One Center, 3 Mama Streets, Brookfields in Freetown. My name is Abdul Rahman Kamara. As part of a continuation of our discussion last week on land matters, I received personal call from members of the public to have this particular discussion done in Creole because the interest so far been demonstrated by our members of the audience rather is pretty much huge. So I think this edition of the program today we're going to change the narrative. Instead of us moving with it in English, we are going to have it done in Creole so that the people will better understand the things we're going to talk about. It is against this backdrop that I really want to welcome my guest in the studio, the director of Namati, Lasun Kita Conte. Lasun Kita, tell Famule Madu.
Famule Muna, good evening, and thank you for what you host me again today, man.
I hope so, we feel a little bit challenged. We're not used for speaking English in this program, but the thoughts about having it done in Creole so that the people will follow the trend of the discussion, where I believe say it will serve the purpose well. This is not the reason we believe say today.
I think that makes sense, man, because the discussion we can get so today, it will benefit all man, and because we all live per land, it's fine for the way they follow within the happen and within government the plan.
So Kita, last week we begin to talk about the proposed bills where they deal with the customary land rights and the other aspect where they talk on the same land right. You go able to give me a quick overview of what actually we start for talk, especially on the current system, where I'm sure drive the need for law we get a rethink for come up within 2 bills how we can able get the land right situation correct analysis.
Absolutely, man. So I go begin, and I know say family and us understand say Salon na one country, but we get different parts of the country. So we get upline, what we will call in English the provinces. Then we get Freetown, where we call the city. Now, the interesting thing about we history in Salon, now that because of colonialism, how when they were in Canada, this country, boku years ago, when they come and can take over and run the country, we end up forget 2 different legal systems them within the same country. So upline then gets the original customary law them and tradition the way the different tribe them Mende, Timini, Limba, Kuranko, so they all done the practice is still the happening upline. But then na Freetown, where this not being the seats of the colonial government, then we apply English law. So then bring all the English principle them we get for do with contract, we get for do with land, then we can come and apply and directly in Freetown. And so because of that, when we get independence, we still get these 2 systems in the country. So even in one country, we get two legal systems where they operate. So we get one where we call the formal law or the English kind law, where they operate in Freetown, and then now the rest of the country we get customary law, where the law the way the different tribe them, then they know the practice from where they find themselves in this country. So that self apply not just to the contracts no more, it also apply per land business. So by the time we get independence in 1961, we continue with this particular trend. And directly, so now that system we'll get upline. When the vast majority of the land of the country all the land and they governed by customary law. And then Freetown, when a small, Freetown are less than 3% of Salon. Na English law, na in they operate na so now this kind of a situation we don't operate with, and now we get up till today.
Okay, now we don't see also government efforts done being directed towards having to redo the entire land system of the country. Also, we get a land commission now, a proposed bill, and also we get the other aspects. You don't give me the current situation. Now, you able to tell me what actually drive government for make them take them bold steps here for redo the entire land tenure in the country?
Absolutely. Now, one thing we're very clear about mortal man and mortal man affair, now that things not they always remain the same. Things they change as we dey grow. Now, so
it evolve.
yes, as we dey grow, now so things then they new things they come, and people then they change their habits. People then they change how then they live, and where you do in a society where you get law, the law for always they change for meets the change where people then they experience. Now, if the law not they change, then problem go there because the law go there beyond, and then people don't go far. So now this kind of thing don't mean people will land business in this country. Because as I would talk so, Raman, we get law than they way them in pass in the 1800s, maybe 200 years ago, where then still exist now with law books, and still they apply in a salon. We get law that we then pass in the 1900s, where then still they apply in a salon. This not 2020 this. And then they out of place right now for with society because number one, with population don't increase, we don't get different practice that we don't spread across the country. So it's very important for from term to term, we look at we rules the will get for make sure say then they fit with not just like you were in a mortal man, you they grow. The same clothes will be wearing with a baby, not so you do well they elected into so. So you go for the change, you go for the so big clothes. So now the same thing again with we rules them. We go for the make sure say we rules and they come up to date with waiting they happen at the country. And so now this now the one main reason where we make government say we need for take a strong look at we landlord in the country because from where they begin pass them, some of them we take them from the English people that we colonize we will not change nothing per it. So for 200 years that law they done today, and this now 2020 we get internet now, we get smartphone, we get flat screen TV, something for change. Because if you not change, the problem we would face with population increase, the problem we would face with migration from one side to the other, the law not able for address that, and the law for able for solve problems of humanity. Now that make we get rules. The rule for make sure say we able for know who side for go, who side not for go, waiting for do, how for relate. But if the law them they're really outdated, then they far back, then it not gonna make sense at all for business. It not gonna make sense for the people and develop themselves. So now that's not the reason we make. Some more than 10 years ago, government say let we begin for look at the thing that we'll get now we law books, the rules them we go for do with we land. Let we try for change them for being there up to date. And now this now the process we don't happen. It don't tell we happy we begin. We don't happen up to the point to side within right now. So we government don't begin push for let we develop model laws. Then we go reflect waiting they happen now the current situation of the country and change all the all that we don't we not really they add much value to we system again.
Okay, now then proposed bill we talk about we get for do with land commission and customary land. We not go able to deal with them extensively today, but we will actually segment the discussion. First off, we look at the model customary land rights bill of 2020. Also, we will begin with the preliminary. It didn't stages is so much, but for the benefit of hindsight, we will take with time for actually go through them. Also, we get the non-discrimination, we get customary land rights, part 3, we get district land commission, customary land administration management. So we begin with the preliminary. Why the question is, why we get this? I come back to you on this very important question. What really inform this particular one for how we get this model customary land rights bill of 2020?
So as I say, we get these two systems in the country. And one particular problem where we get with the land they upline, because they're governed by customary law, they not get any documentation where they go with the land. Because customary rules...
Something like conveyance or at all?
No, customary rules not written. Now law that way they pass from generation to generation. From story, of your grandpa to story of your papa to story of the picking them to story of the one we get for camp.
History of possession.
Exactly. So that in itself gets problems in modern society. First way, we not been that boku. We all man sabi all man. Nobody not move outside it. So you go for talk with certainty say this land where they from Yato Bayanda, now this family get her. But now movement don't take place. Boku things don't go upline. So it's not certain again, and it creates problems for people that upline. You need able for guarantee within what man call tenure security. When that where you own your land, you get call at say this land now we family get them. This land now we people and get them. So that now one major challenge where we get span the land the upline. The fact say the land rights that we people and get no not only by word of mouth and by story now you do pass them. You not get any document where they show say indeed this is not the Bangura family, this is not the Yobe family, not then get this particular land here. So that now one major challenge we don't face in this particular 21st century. Because now you find out say the whole country they open for business. And people and they go apply for go get land, for build shop, for do business. And sometimes they need money from bank or from some other person for let they able for start the business. Now these banks then also need security. So what you go use as security for like get the loan from the bank. Now under customary law, you don't get documents for your land. You don't get nothing for sure say this land that you get, but now you actually get them. So part of the reason for this reform where they come now for make sure say the one the way they upline, the one the way get land upline, able for begin get title, paper title to the land, we don't go for show, and we don't go for use for secure loan or for do any other thing we don't want for do, and it will make sure say it provide very certainty say this particular land now this particular family get them, and that the documentation this and that the size of the land is. So part of the motivation for this now for make sure say land upline that the vast majority of we country in land we will forgive security to the people that we get the land there. For make sure say they're able for deal with them in ways way more than person able for deal with their land there.
Okay, the question where they come to mind is you don't get the land whether through the kind way you get some. Now if this bill come into effect, it call for a re-registration of that particular land for make it fit within the context of modern time.
So as I say, non-family land upline not get any document. So this will be fresh matters.
So they all get for prepare fresh documents.
Exactly. So the government get for develop system where go make sure say every family upline get title to the land. Now I completely understand. Say right now as we talk, people are not going to transact by land business. So if you go to McKinney or go to Bourne or the big city there, so man will even show you conveyance. Say I get this land, I don't buy this land. This let me conveyance this. Now then they not the proper thing. What we go address that one day with the term reach. Okay? Because generally land under customary law, under customary tenure, not get land, not get documents. And we don't see over time say some people then they make conveyance for the all. Like the how they make conveyance in a free tongue. They make it for the same they make it for land upline again. Wait, that is not correct. They're within the law. The law not allowed that one day. But this reform go make sure they go introduce now this system where the family that we get the land, then go forget a document we go show say this particular land, this stretch of 1,000 acres or 5,000 acres within this particular village. Now the Bangura family, now the Jombla family, now then get this. And apart from that, you go also get you survey plan where you go show exactly the area where you declaim in very precise terms. So not like first away, they get this joke where they can say if you go upline, then they say then they give you land. They can say let you watch, then they point to for you. Say yanda, say go by yanda, say go by yanda, say go by yanda. Now they you now they you land it. But now with the new systems where the government plan for introduce, families go able forget them plan. And then go forget entitled. So you see the ownership, then you also see the geography of the land. So now this land this and now the size this and now this family get up. So this now one major thing where push for this reform. And then the second thing, now that we get one country but we get two different systems then. Now government not the attempt for eliminate one system for the other one. But this whole reform process, they try for bring the two systems them closer together. So that much difference no go there again too much between the customary system and the formal system within a free tongue. And so part of the arrangement we get for talk about throughout this series of programs. Now how the government and the new model lawyer so they create institution them for bring then different system so the customary system and the formal system closer together so that difference no go there. So if you don't have free tongue, you bluff with the conveyance, the person applying self go for bluff with entitled. we go carry the same weight. So this now part of the the reason why government they push for this reform. And then the third reason, now that as we know, not all sign at the upline no. Some sign on the upline and some customary law the woman their rights to the land not very secure. Then they can tell and say land matter not to woman matter. Even though na the same grandpa, the same papa nine born the woman picking and nine born the man picking, but they can always say the land matter go be not for man business. So part of the reason for this reform again for address that one day. The law they be very clear now for say land matter, na woman matter, na man matter. Difference not for day. Man and woman forget the same right. We not for say because this tribe say for long they not they consider woman, so the woman not forget right. No, the law they say no. Equality for day. Man, woman, they forget the same right as wake up and land business. And the other point I go make now that this one issue we don't get again amongst we people in this country, we then say, well, certain people are not right for own land upline. So the creator, for example, and then a free tongue number then for they go on land. If they want land upline, pass and go lease. So the other thing where this proposed law they do now for council that one day. And they propose say every citizen as alone. Once you're a citizen as alone, you get right for acquire land across the whole country. So you don't get any limitation that you don't get any discrimination against you anymore. So now then kind of a thing so and they're not small. They're a big thing the way the government is trying for address with this land reform here so.
So what's it perhaps might be of interest? How this new system, this customary land rights bill, they try for creates a serene environment and it creates sanity among the very minds of the people we own land up country.
I mean, yes, that's a very good question. Because we look at the law we currently do right now, where they deal with land business upline. We call it the Provinces Land Act, Cap 122. We then pass them in 1920s. So instead of now almost 100 years, they can act so. We will not change it. And they don't do for change law long term. Now the current situation that law they not consider say the people them upline, the family that we own the land, the community we own the land, then able for deal with the land matters. And so what in that law they mean do, he puts the land inside the chiefdom council. He said the land upline, he did at the hand of chiefdom council. Now therefore deal with the land on behalf of the people then.
As trustees?
Exactly. Now, over the years, that don't pose boku problems, especially over the past 10 to 15 years, where we don't get this big movement of investors that will come out from outside for can take land either for agricultural investment or for mining, because we don't see boku complaints of situation the way the paramount chief them na some not to all sayo but na some of the area the upline need they actually consult and seek consent of the people that we get the land. So man can see them is he say hey chief don't go sign agreement so they don't give this company 5,000 hectares of land and a part of your land, so then they can't walk by your land. So for the past 10 years we don't face that kind of a serious challenge then they. And we think to say that they're not supposed for continue for happening. Because if we agree saying that you get your property, we forgive you the right for deal with the property as you want for deal with them. We're not for just go put the right in another person. And because quite frankly, the people that upline we all don't come of age, we able for deal with property then. So part of the problem we want for solve with this, now for make sure say now, land that we in our family they own, it in our family they earn. Now they get right for deal with the land. And because with this new law, this proposed law, they introduced this title. The title not for the in the name of the council, for the in the name of the family. So Bangura family then get them documents and get them plan. The Kamara family, the Jombla family, they all get them documents and plans. So now you
so
get
make
for
it
the
very easy for own possession.
Exactly. So it make it easy for follow you make a decision about your land. So if person wants your land now, if person wants the Jombla family land, then they go just go meet the chief. Then they can meet the Jombla family itself, and the family for then take steps now for decide whether or not for give the land out or not for give the land out. So with the pool consent now from that small group of people in hand and put them at the hand of the one that we get for affected by the decision, by the people that were on the land, by the families.
But what's it going to mean on the authority of the chief?
In not take away nothing from them. Nadande would always describe or maintain. In not take away nothing from them. The chief now still the authority and the chiefdom. Waiting we they do with this model law, now for make sure say we put the ownership right by the people and we own the land they earn. The chief still get a role. And when we go through all then different model lawyers we don't draft, you go see say the chief they still get a role and the new institution then way the law then they propose for help for manage and administer land upline. So the chief then still get a role, but the law is very clear. Say we camp the full right for own the land and deal with the land, it could then at the family they earn, as opposed to it could then at the chiefdom council they earn.
Okay, now we look at something I just read them for you, Naya, quickly. They talk about seasonal tenancy, we mean say a grant of land for one farming season or with or without an obligation to pay rent. A seasonal tenancy is a type of short-term tenancy. What did this mean within this law?
So this law, as you say, a big law. It addresses boku issues. And apart from the issue of ownership of land, where it address, where they put on the family that we get time, they put on the community and we get time. It also they make provision for other kind arrangements them where the family go enter into with any other person.
Okay.
So one of such arrangements that we know say people that can go take land from family them for do farming.
Yes.
So they can say, would they take the land for one season, would they take the land for two seasons, or would they take the land for a period of time? Now, because customary law, not a law within writing, many of the arrangements are so now by word of mouth. Now you talk with talk with Gree. Now we don't find out say when it can come and then medium to long term arrangements them, we argument not in there, confusion can come out because you know get nothing we go show say now this will be agreed 4 years ago say I go plant on this land, I go harvest continuously and I go give you some pan harvest. Nothing we go show that one day. So part of the thing that way this model law they do, now for give opportunity to anybody or any group of people that would enter into them kind of a transaction and they over land for let them get the opportunity for put and down in writing. Okay? So for all the different kind arrangements that we do under customary law, seasonal and one, seasonal and short term. It's okay for one farming season, we give you land for like plant rest. Okay? Or you're not supposed to plant anything with na permanent crops. We give opportunity for let the arrangements they do within the customary area them. But the law they make provision for me when the tenant says I get something we go show say I get right for use the land. Because if you don't get that one day and then somebody else come, so for example, a big company can say, well, we want to take the whole land of this area. But then we don't get arrangement with the Jumbla family, say, you go use the land for 5 seasons. And then this big investor cannot say, I will take all the land. Normally, what can happen? The family can forget what you sign now. You know, 5 seasons now, we give the land, and forget what you sign now, then deal with the company give them the pay them rent. Then take the rent, then they forget about you side and we say, oh, well, no, we'll fence high for you, or you know, or thing and we want for guard against that because all man need for get security. So if they enter into arrangement, they will get the arrangement they secured under the law. So this now one way and a one type of arrangement under customary law where we go make sure say all man will transact with land under customary law get something we go protect them right.
Okay, under part 1 preliminary, now we look at waiting at the role of the town/village area land committee.
So, this law they deal with 2 things. You get the rights them where we they protect. So the family has right for own the land, for use the land, and for deal with the land. Then the law they also set up institutions where for able to make land management under customary law and upline work well. Now, as you know, Salon we get this history for centralize all thing, not so?
Yes.
All thing na free tongue. So all man come off free tongue for go do something upline. And that they can affect how things they work fine upline. So one thing where the government look and where it from the land policy in days, that it fine for let we decentralize land management issues. Not so just na free tongue, na Roxy building, na Ministry of Lands, na UU building, na they all thing for happen. No. So they propose this customary land rights bill. They propose for let we set up structures at the community level, at the chiefdom level, at the town level, at the village level. When are the people themselves way, and then they use the land and then get the land, and then go be they inside that structure so for help for manage and administer then structure there so. So it they propose for create their institution there so them body so. Village area land committee or town land committee, chiefdom land committee. At that level there for make sure say we camp and management issues not so for own they need to go own the land though, because the land owned by the family, owned by the community,
Yes.
owned by an institution. But follow you manage and follow you make rules on how for use them for the good of all man. The law then they create then different institutions at the lowest level so that they can go for manage properly, because we don't see from experiences in other places there that if decentralize then kind of material so things go well, because you need to involve the people that we're concerned, the people that we're for be affected, the management of land. Okay. So that's not the one thing where again where this with the lawyers so they look at.
Last one, Kita, fast forward to this law, we look at part 2 where they talk briefly on non-discrimination, where one that you say no citizen shall be subject to land-related discrimination in law, policy or practice throughout the country, with particular regard to women and girls, the poor, the elderly, and minority ethnic, tribal, and religious group.
This is one of my favorite provisions in this particular proposed law, because it rectify one main wrong. When that as a country, as a people, we've been get different rules the way they apply to we as citizens. We're all not citizens of the country, so we're not supposed to get that kind of a stumbling block then they. We write for acquire land. So this particular one, they say no rule not day, law not for day, practice self not for day. So you see how we don't write for make sure say we clear all the doubts. So if you argue say well na practice not to law, we still cover them. Mm-hmm. So no rule not for day, non practice not for day, non customary way nothing not for day, we for stop the citizens of Sierra Leone for acquire land across the whole country. Because now we country. And not enough for stopping for people to acquire land. So that are the first thing. So that, as you see, that are one of the first provision in the bill for make sure say that we without a doubt clarify say every citizen of this country for able for access the land, for get land rights, for able for access land any side of the country. And we put them with particular reference to women them again as I've been telling you, we know the challenge that women can face under customary rule. We also want to deal with that one day. And other groups like the Creoles, we know the challenge we don't face. We also want to deal with that. They very clearly say they get rights like me and you for acquire land any side of the country, and so that's not the first thing. And I think that's one of my favorite provisions in this proposed bill.
Okay, the other one that we say, any citizen can acquire. We don't touch this.
Yeah.
Any discriminatory bylaw, rule or practice pertaining to land rights held under custom shall be cancelled and have no legal effect. So
basically, what they say is, any law where they exist right now under customary rules. So you could say, sometimes among the Timini, we get to be custom. We say, not for own land, or among the Kuranko, na so we custom say. Mm-hmm. Now the law they say no. We camp on this particular issue. We not one country. We not one people there. We know the countenance that custom there at all. That custom they they discriminate against women them and other Sierra Leoneans there. We know the countenance them. The law they say enough for apply. So it completely illegal enough for apply. It's void. So now that would they say for clearly emphasize the commitment of we the people in the government for really bring an end to this kind of a practice. So clearly the law they say any rule where they exist, any custom where they exist, we say other citizens of Salon forget not for own land, not any side of the country or woman not for own land, it completely void. It not get any legal effect.
Okay. Now we go to part 3 of this where they deal with the customary land rights. Mm-hmm. The first one they tell you about the termination of chiefdom council trusteeship. Mm-hmm. While the other one they tell you about family land.
Yes.
The chiefdom council is divested of all trusteeship responsibility over land in the provinces.
So yeah.
What did this bring and how it different from the previous?
So remember what you say, under this the law where they exist now, the province is land at cap 1 to 2. Mm-hmm. Land upline, they invest them in the chiefdom council.
Okay.
say for for all land trust for the people. Now, the one big proposal within this draft bill, we they say the land now, instead of invest in the chiefdom council, it invest in the family. It invest in the community. So if you invest land in the family or you invest in the community, then need not they follow the chiefdom council get that one day, because then unnecessary duplication that one day. So you they get rid of that one day because the family now get the right for deal with the land by themselves. Okay, as opposed to follow the chiefdom council, act for them. So now the family get the right for dealing with the land by themselves. So it's not necessary again for the chiefdom council act as trustee over the land. So that's the first thing. Now, one thing I'm going to mention, now that, I mean, this proposal, they say the land for vest in the family. But we also know, say, even within the family, women still face issues. Young people still face issues. So inside and then at the country where they go for land business, they tell you, say, land business not to woman business, not to young person in business, now then pardon, and then for deal with land. And so one thing we the law they make clear now that even though we they recognize the family their rights and then get the land, so then for deal with the land, however, we make some rules of engagement for make sure say when they deal with the land as a family, we not disadvantage the woman there, we not disadvantage the young people there, we not disadvantage the one that will not born it. Because one thing where I don't land and this work we will do over many years, that when you talk about land upline, the one that we own land, it's very interesting. They say that 3 different people that own land. They say the ancestors there.
That means you keep on the libation.
Yes, the ancestors them, the current generation, and the one that working for camp. So what that means, it means say una where they in charge right now, una get a solemn responsibility for make sure say una manage the land in such a way where the one the picking the way una get for born and una picking there go able for come meet land, because the ancestor them been deal with the land in such a way where they're able for left the land for owner. Okay. So that is very important. And so now you make pan this particular proposed bill, even though the land now we recognize say the vest pan the family, we still get rules for make sure say they not unbog woman them, they not unbog the young people them, and they make sure say the land still then go deal with them in the interest of the family as a whole.
Okay. Let me look at another important aspect here. We say any person acting as head of family on behalf of a land-owning family shall not unilaterally make decisions concerning the sale or lease of family land, and shall be accountable to the member of the family for all actions taken in respect of a family's land holding. So maybe just get the habits.
Yes. And you see, one thing pan them lawyers, not to say na academic exercise. This na provision the way informed by the problems on the ground. So things that would happen currently na the 21st century salon upline we can pan land business. Now in their lawyers so they seek for address. So the law them very practical, they're very down to earth. And that now one major problem where we don't see we can pan family land. That the people them way can act as head of family, they can take advantage. And they can do things in a way not in the interest of the family. We don't see na boku side them apply. And so part of the rules they're working for apply once you don't vest, the land in the family. Now that the one they're working for act as heads of family, then get responsibility for making sure they act in the interest of the members. And they don't go by themselves no more, begin make a decision. So for example, if the family decides they want to sell the land, or they want to do long lease of the land, they want to transfer the land to somebody else, willing to family member, not to one person no more for take that decision there. The law very clear. It say all the members of the family with over 18, you go for seek and consent. You go for get a good majority of the one and they for agree, say yes, let we dispose of this land. So instead of it could be one person no more in your decision.
75% threshold.
Exactly. Instead of it could be one person in your decision, it's supposed to be the whole family, because the land vests in the family as a unit. It's not just vest in one person. Now the whole family that then get the land. So if they decide for do something major with the land, then let as many as possible of the family member them let themselves add them voice and then wait to the decision for dealing with the land.
Okay, well we can take a small break, but now we look at this last one, where they say where family lands are to be bequeathed or subdivided among subunits of a family, male and female family members shall be treated equally, enjoy the same rights, and be allocated equivalent shares.
Yes. So again, this stems from basic problems that when they happen. Now, when you go upline and talk about land business, and we talk about woman, how woman forget the same rights as man them. One quick thing when they can say, the woman then they go married. So if they're married, then they go to the man they host. So if they go to the man they host, why they forget the land with the papa or the mama then left me in? So okay, ask them, say, do you man not part of the family? And say yes, but you don't go married. So if you don't go married, if you lost, what you forget? So no, that's not fair. And so this particular provision, they inside they for address that challenge there. So whether do you man go married to possibly get land, or do you man go acquire land in the course of in business or in the course of in career, is still entitled to the land where in family gets. Usa you come out. Mm-hmm. So because you go married, don't mean to say you're not entitled, no, you're not for disqualify them. So if anything ever happen with the land, man them as woman them forget the same rights, and forget the same parcels, and forget the same amount. So we not for even entertain that discussion. They say, well, because you know, you don't go married, so you don't get nothing to do with the right. No, you still get right to the land, and nobody no go take down the away from you.
Okay. Well, Formula, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we continue with the program. We start get my guest now at the studio, the director of Namati, Lason Kita Conte, where they talk about the two proposed bill, the Customary and the Land Commission Act. Now we go for a short break.
My name is Alpha Tijan Wuri. I am the Minister of Health and Sanitation. We don't get exposed to Ebola now in this country. We show that where we do all social distancing, the right hygiene, we're able to end Ebola now in this country.
Fambul, my name is Mamadi Gubekama. I'm the Deputy Minister for Information and Communications. I should say by now you could hear but this corona sick, we don't bust out across the world. Even bigger nations than we before now, but the things they get stronger health systems. We see how corona don't enter their nations and they inherit the ravage.
We know say we're not for the pan crowd. We know say if they will people them, we forget breeze they pass between that person they and we safe. Now in the with man called social distancing. You not touch me not touch her. We know say for make everything in your hand can't to me now I shake your hand. But I for the wash my hand regularly. This is because this hand here, it touch your face past 1,000 times for day. Anything they pass by the eye, the nose, the mouth, the ears, for making you infect yourself. That the side way you able for do it easily now your hand.
As government remain committed to the affairs of the citizens. Now I make we not wait to take corona come before we get into action. My message now for just encourage we for abide. So the measures that the government will put in place so that you, me, your family, and of course Saigon will be safe from this coronavirus.
So insist that your household for make everybody do the right thing. I know this Sierra Leonean is going to get it right, and we would ensure that this time we are free of this scourge. I thank you.
This message they come up from Citizens Advocacy Network and other partners them for joining on with government for fight coronavirus.
Family, you're most welcome to the program again. If you watch when I start television, are there with me guests. We now last week Kita Conte, we did talk about the importance of land ownership and the two bills and the two proposed bills and we government they try for put in place for ensure say and create sanity and safer space for people both up country and here. They are with me now the studio. Welcome once more to the program last week Kita Conte.
Thank you.
We get what we call community land. But first off, let me give a precise definition of what's in a community land.
Okay.
Before we can look at how the new bill proposed for actually handle what's in a community land.
So when you look at the systems of country, we can plan land ownership. Mostly we can say that group rights. So not to like we in a free tongue where you go say na me a man na me get this land here so. Now land up country mostly na either the family or the community na the claim to have. Mm-hmm. So we want to be very clear about that distinction there. So for make sure say when a family land invest in the family, okay? When a much smaller group of people and where they claim say them come out from one particular person. So all the claims will come out from this particular ancestor, nine link way. Well, then you also get a community, and in this respect, the smallest form of community where we don't come across upline, like the village. Okay, so you get the village, you get the town, you get the chiefdom, and then of course you get the district. So when you go to the chiefdom and the village level, you find out say some land and the way it not belong to one particular group or one particular family. Then they deal with them as a property of the whole community. So they can get rules about their land and they can also make sure say all man within the community they can get the benefit of that particular land day. So it can be, for example, like the market space in some community. It can be some land way, something like the IVS where they will claim saying that this is not community land, it for we all. They can allow all man for go farm day. So whatever they regard as community land, this law they make provision for that land they vest in the community. So if not the village, so the village land for vest in the people that were inside the village. If not the tongue, that tongue land for vest in the people that were inside the tongue. If not the chiefdom, the land for vest in the people that were inside the chiefdom. So now then get them, and enough of vest in just an entity. Now, so that community.
So collective ownership.
Exactly. Now, for decisions about that land is like what for do with the land, how for deal with them, how for pass on out. We don't make and clear upon this model bill say enough for be the decision of one green person. Because if you call them community land, if you allow members of the community for make decision about the land,
Exactly.
not to just one person for sit down and decide what to do with the land overnight. So the model bill they make provision for let the community member themselves make decisions about the land. So for example, and it's similar to how families then make decisions. If the community decides, well, this community land, we want to give them away to an investor on a lease, not to one person for decide. The majority of the people that are within the community, we don't pass 18 years. And therefore decide, and therefore agree, say, now so we want to do with the community land, not to one green person. So that go make sure, say, when then they decide for what to do with the land, then say 2 heads better pass one. Mm-hmm. And we get multiple heads, it better pass one. You need just the grab number, you go decide overnight. Not just give all the land to the investor. Because we find out, say, when you allow the space for let people in the community make a decision and they make better decision as opposed to one green person, we don't go to side them the north and the south way. Investor go to the community say, we want for lease all on our land. All demand in Greece state say, yes, we're going to all the land within the village. What do you want to say? No. We garden there. We don't go now. Because we use them for do so and so and so and so. Now they for take care of picking them. That we swam down yonder, now they manage for go away. So we need to go now. And because human they mean give them that space and then say, no, what we think. We find out say the decision for give the land now to the investor go be stopped. And you go get some discussion. But if you be left with the man and no more, all then look at almost all the company as rent. And that's it. Una they give you job. So but when you get the woman there and you give them the space, then bring common sense into the picture. And so we say no, una can't lease all una land to the investor because other people and the way they use the land and for the particular purpose. Yeah. So we think say when we don't make provision in this draft bill yeah, so for let all man of the community be part of the decision for deal with community land, it will make the community arrive at better decisions. As opposed to now where one person decides to say, no, not just give all the land to the company and make it and take. When you open the space up now, you get more people and for say, let me think for tomorrow, for picking them or for what we do right now. Then we think to say the space go there for like we decide better power land business upline.
Okay. Fast forward to this, we still get what we call tenancies and customary land pledges. The one that tells you families may grant seasonal, indefinite, short-term, long-term, or other type of tenancy allowed under the customary law in anyone promised to anyone. A long-term tenancy shall not exceed a term of 50 years. An indefinite tenancy shall not be used to secure investment activity or activities on called home community land. How important is it?
So this, as I mentioned earlier, now the other kind of transaction that can happen over land in the provinces. So, for example, if somebody go say he want for go do farming in a land away, and this family gets 2,000 hectares of land, so they can make arrangements. They can get a particular type of tenancy where they go say, well, look, we will give you for 5 years, we will give you for 10 years, we will give you for 15 years, or we will give you for 1 season, or we will give you for 3 seasons. So the law, this proposed law, they make provision for that one day. And if we dig deep inside this law, we even provide templates for how the arrangement and they go there, so that it go easy for the people that are applying for let them get that kind of arrangement. So once you get we don't put inside the waiting go for form part of the agreement then they. So that's now one. So the family then and the community then get the ability for let them do other kind of transaction with the land them way then get. Now the other thing way very interesting and it would exist for many years. Now this pledge. I don't know if you don't ever able to the upline they can pledge land. So when person need money for do something or you need something very urgent and you not get them and you get land, you can go pledge the land to another person who will get the money for GM.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the interesting thing about the pledge, if you buy like the normal mortgage way bank need to do, but the difference in a very material respect.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about the pledge is that when they pledge the land to you, where they lend the money from, the land they go to you. The possession of the land they go to you. So you're able to use the land for do anything where you want for do there. So if the land gets plantation already, then they pledge unto you, they get the benefits from the land. That one day, none of your interest where you get for the money where you give them, where you trust them. Now, until them pay that money back, you go continue to enjoy the fruits of the land. You continue to use the land. But the challenge, as Abinon say, many of them arrangements are not in writing. Now by word of mouth. I don't want one community where the pledge arrangement where they talk about it past 80 years. So now by word of mouth, they say we great grandpa can pledge this land to we, and because they can pledge unto we still hold the land, and we not been pay we it. We supposed to pay we 2 pots of gold, 3 horse. I mean, so many different things, and that create problem now. So how do you deal with that with this kind of arrangement? So part of the provision in this law, this proposed law, now for make sure say then kind of pledge arrangement and then they in writing. So you clearly specify outside the land they waiting at the amount where you trust and waiting you to give to the other party for the for the security of the debt and waiting at the person in rights where you hold the land. So this now opportunity. For make sure say we address all the different kind of transaction them,
including the duration.
Absolutely. So for pledge them, the duration indefinite. Now until you pay the money. So when you pay the money, then the person gets in land back. Now so it don't operate. So let me tell you say in
but
this
the challenge
case,
over the years, there is this temptation of not wanting to give back.
So that's the problem because over time, the terms of the pledge is blurred. Because you now pledge the person in pledge and give we family on a sell been sell and give we. So you don't get no evidence for sure whether on a pledge on a sell or on some other arrangement. And so it creates confusion. We don't go to one particular community where one company go list the land. The landowning family then come out, the one the way they pledge the land to themselves come out, order for pay the rent too. So the family where they pledge the land to say if we pay with the original pledge where una grandpa or great grandpa been pledged to grandpa or great grandpa, they will go on the land. So what we ask them, say, what's the pledge? They say, it's a small country pot. They say 3 pots of land of gold, 3 horse, and some other thing there. So no, there's also they go pull horse for campaign or they go pull 3 pots of gold. But then the other family will deny, say, no, that's not to be the case. Now the difficulty arises because we not get nothing in writing for sure, within exactly. So now going forward and for make sure we address the challenge that we don't see, not the ground. This particular provision there inside this proposed bill for make sure say even them pledge them day, right? We get way how they record them and they all get for be registered. And this is not the beauty of the system the government proposed for. All of them then see as what they happen, get for be registered at the district level. So you go forget a body we will talk about that later on. Now the District Land Commission, we go for register not only the title of family them, but also the list arrangement they where they go enter into, plus them pledge their yaso. So that whatever happens tomorrow, you
so
will get
anytime
evidence.
You make a reference of pledging a land to somebody else for any repayment, You go click or you go on the records, it come up.
You go see them exactly.
Yeah.
Say this land, it don't pledge already, or this land it under lease, or this land it under some seasonal tenancy. So you go get that record there. And one of the things that we the push for now for let we digitize all of the information there. So not to pass you go like how you go to Roxy building now for go search them, big register them way then they fall apart right now. No, we want to make sure say you can do any side na your smartphone, na your laptop, you able to access information about Salon in land system.
Okay. Well, last one kids the time at the studio they register 5:51 where they tell we say we'll get something like 8 to 9 minutes more follow we go. I'll give the opportunity for let you just summarize from the importance rather. Let you just summarize the importance. Also we start the discussion and waiting this new bill actually intend for correct the anomalies over the years where people don't experience and how we hope for puts a very, very straightforward message.
Raman, I mean, the one big thing we need to understand now that close to 300 years now, we don't look at we land law and deal with the needs. As I tell you, we get a lot of way now in the 1800s with them pass them, then still they apply right now. And this is now 2020. And we get different problems that will arise. We don't get increase in population. We don't get increase in development activities. People they want their own property now. People they want for own land different side. People they want for do them business. Then at the same time, you also get companies, business where they come out overseas for car own land now. So for can use land for large scale investments. We get mining of minerals. So you get all kind use for land, all kind need for land in the country. And we can't continue with them old law that we'll get. The 1920s law, the 1800 law, it not the work for we at all as a nation. And so important for let we embark on this process we don't start so and continue on to a logical conclusion. Because if we not do them, we development go always shaky. Because land are the most important thing we'll get in this country. We all in land we did not so. We host a Nipan land, we streets and Nipan land, we airport Nipan land,
We colleges
we college the Nipan land, we farm the Nipan land. The company wouldn't mind they're all in the mine land. So if we not address we land situation with all the competing claims there so and interest, then we not go develop at all. So it's very important at this stage. I mean some man go argue say I mean this is overdue. That not true. We don't do this long term, but let's say better late than never. So it's very important for that we begin address we land situation right now. Because all we governments then we don't come over the past 10, 15 years, including the current government, get one aspiration and say we for be middle income status by 2035. So in other words, Salon we for develop economically, we standard of living for increase better one by 2035. And the only way we then go be now because of now if we use we land resource system. But if we land law and day in disarray, they know they relate fine with each other. We're not able to be a middle income country by 2035. So we're going to joke with ourselves. So what do we need? Now complete overhaul of the law them we don't start so. And this is not just the beginning of the process. We don't just get this then two model bills here so. We need dozens more. And then after a point we're able to harmonize them all. But this is not a good step in the right direction for make sure say we begin to address the challenge them. And we don't even come to the sweet part then itself of them build there so. The part that we're going to deal with how for do investments na land and upline. Because right now we know say the system very chaotic. We can buy investment. Some company they get lease agreements, some man then get MOU, some man it don't make sense right now. But then propose lawyers so now they set the stage for responsible investment. For make sure say we invest to the kinds of the country, they rule and the way if comply with and way the way for behave when it will affect the rights of people. So this now a big project for the country. Not just for government too. Now big project for the country. And as I tell you, over the last 2 months, we don't go upline. We don't go Bo, Kenema, Putloko, and McKinney. We don't go talk to people them about this. Paramount chief them, landowners, land users, civil society groups. We don't talk to them about this. And they're excited. They're excited because they think say, for the first time in a long time, with the past law, and now we can address the problem they were on the ground. So they're really excited for this project. And so me, Cesar, want to convey that excitement and me only excitement say in our generation And this is a big honor for we. In our generation, we want for rewrite the history of Salone, for make sure say we set the country on a footing for let it develop. And the first side now for let we deal with the land issue. And my own message would be that we all in this country for support this process, for make sure say we get better landlord there. We go give we collect. So when you buy your land na Hastings, when you buy your land na Hamilton, when you buy your land na Godrich, you for go sleep. You don't forget one word you say, hey, tomorrow morning person who can claim say na get the land. No. This particular process go can give we all collect we can plan business in the country.
Okay. Well, family that na me studio guest trainer the director of Namatila Son Kita Conte. I'm sure this is not just the beginning of this discussion. So we look at the Model Land Bill Commission of 2020. But today, expressly, we start with the Model Customary Land Bill Right of 2020. The issues there we don't deal with, I'm sure. We'll get the opportunity for get a repeat of this particular program at 11 tonight. And also on Thursday, we'll get a clear insight on the things that we discuss. We still get a long way for go on the Model Customary Land Rights Bill of 2020. Also, we get a lot of things for actually discuss. As we say, we need for take them here step by step, and the reason why we get the discussion in Creole, now for there, we fumble them with the up country, make themselves get the opportunity for elicit a clear understanding on the things where we discuss and how the two proposed bills that we will address some of the upcoming challenges over the years. We also say land business cause a lot of debt.
Yes.
So many debt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kita. Some man the America, England, he give money for me and buy land for them. In 2 days until you say somebody else don't go lay claim to that particular land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very terrible experience. So we want for change that, and we get the opportunity for change that now for the good of we all in this country. So that when you put your investment per land, any side of the country, you get collapse, now you get the land.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Lason Kita Conte, for we honor this invitation for come educate the lay public on the importance of the two model bills there. Till then, my name is Abdul Rahman Kamar. Have a very wonderful day.